You did 28 jobs in 28 weeks in an era of unemployment.
How many jobs were you paid for out of the 28 jobs?
I think 7 to 8.
Oh, yeah.
7 to 8.
Coming
Yes,
back
yes,
to Bihar,
Yeah.
I don't know, you like the state, of course, but
Okay.
your topic of work has been selling condoms in rural India.
Okay.
So which part did you like more, the state or the job?
No, the job.
Did the finance part bother you?
I did a crowdfunding for the whole journey.
Jubanashwa Mishra, am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, it's right.
Absolutely correct. Welcome everybody to a very interesting episode. Hi, this is the first episode of Bocca Bytes. It's happening on the 1st of April. And 1st of April is very important for the people of Odisha. Though it's April Fool's Day for, wherever in the world, but for us it's very important. 1936, Odisha became a region based on the language. So that's how we were formed. We are very lucky that today in Bocca Cafe Master Canteen we are starting an episode, series of episodes, and this is the first episode which is called Bocca Bytes. And today we have an esteemed author, if I can mention, who's written this amazing book amongst a lot of other things which he does. We'll discuss about it. First, we'll start with your name, sir. Jubanashwa Mishra. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, it's right.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. Jubanashwa.
Jubanashwa Mishra. Very interesting name, very interesting person. And as we know that Bocca, a lot of people don't know, Bocca's full form is Books, Office, Coffee, Culture and Art. So that's what we want to tell everybody, that we are about not just food and coffee, but we are also about conversations, we are about art, we are about culture and so many other things. And this amazing book, which I had written, I had read a long time back, and when we decided that we should have Bocca Bookstore in Bocca Cafe, then we realized we should have somebody from our own state who's written something which is globally interesting, globally acclaimed. So we have this amazing book by Mr. Jubanashwa Mishra, 28 Jobs, 28 Weeks, 28 States. So first, a bit of your background. You are a man who wears many hats. You are somebody connected to technology. You are somebody connected to media, and of course, travel, literature, and you're based out of Bhubaneswar right now.
Yeah.
How did your story happen? A bit about. Of course, you've written it in the book, but a little for our audience.
Okay. So let's start with April 1st. I should thank you for starting a bookstore like this on April 1st, and maybe this will people will think that it will go a long way. And okay, coming to my journey, my hometown is Sonpur, bank of the river like Mahanadi, and most of my childhood I spent on the river bank of Mahanadi. So then I studied in JM College Sambalpur for my intermediate, but I did everything then study. And then I prepared for engineering, and then I got into NIST Berhampur, and that time NIST Berhampur used to be a very good technical college. After that, I joined TCS Chennai as a software engineer. Then I joined Mica, and there was a guy called Son Aiken from Canada. With the same question, he started a journey called 1 week job, and did 52 jobs in 52 weeks across USA to spread the message that discover your passion. Whatever you really want to do that. But I said, okay, I don't want to do 52 weeks. I wanted to do 28 jobs in all the 28 states of India for 28 weeks. Then I started the journey in May 2013, and then it completed in December 2013.
But there's one thing about this book I realized. Maybe it was published before its time.
Okay.
And I think this book needs a huge comeback because you connect with so many things with the present generation, connects with. It's about travel, it's about gig working, or whatever, everything which is so trendy. And you have done this more than 10 years
Yeah.
back. So, how do you see uh, if you were there 10 years back and the social media scene would have been there, would you have written this book, or would you have done a blog or some kind of social media podcast and not written a book?
I would have done some kind of micro series. But before starting the journey of 28 jobs, I always wanted to write a book, and that's why I mean, like after completion the journey, I didn't take up any kind of project, assignment, or job. I just sit in my in one room. I mean, like in Sonpur, and started writing.
Coming
Yes,
back
it's,
to Bihar,
yeah.
I don't know, you like the state, of course, but
Okay.
your topic of work has been selling condoms in rural India.
Okay.
So which part did you like more, the state or the job?
No, the job. So, like, see, there was a initiative by government of India saying that the condoms should be available widely in the rural India. Most of the shop, they used to say, okay, how can I sell? My son also sit here, my daughter also sit here. I mean, like it's a like combined. I mean, small pans of some. I mean, all the family members sit in the shop, right? So this kind of
The experience, yes.
experience, it's very memorable, and all those stories actually you can find it in Bihar chapter.
So when I was reading a book, I just saw that your uh, with travel, Rajasthan was one place where you really thought global travel is people traveling from abroad. Rajasthan was maybe an eye opener for you.
Yeah,
So Rajasthan has a lot of things which maybe Odisha doesn't have,
yeah,
but Odisha has a lot many more things that Rajasthan doesn't have.
yeah.
Why do you think more people go to Rajasthan as to travel,
That-
especially from abroad?
In my book, I have mentioned that Rajasthan is the first state I encountered the foreign tourists. But after finishing the whole journey, if you ask me, the more like foreign travelers, I find it in Goa, Himachal, and Uttarakhand. Okay. Rajasthan also, there are a lot of foreign tourists in Udaipur or maybe Jaisalmer. So if you want to compare other state with Odisha, there are certain things actually what I realize. I mean, I don't know what actually happens, but what I realize, कि they don't like restriction.
But जो Himachal we said, like, it's very interesting that again is very relevant to travel and tourism. That you were like a eco warrior where you're doing some work with waste management with tourism,
Yeah.
which has become very relevant now with travel.
Yeah.
We don't have very responsible tourism now.
Mm.
I do a travel show across Odisha, so I get very worried when you go to a waterfall, you a river. So there's so much trash everywhere. So I think to become responsible hosts for travelers, we need to first have sanitation and hygiene inbuilt inside us, because we have this whole habit of throwing things everywhere and put it in a pocket, put it in a wrapper, and take it away. So everything is littered. So what was your experience in Himachal?
So there is a lady called Jodi. She founded a NGO called West Warriors. Fortunately, I got a job over there for a week, and experienced what actually really happened in those areas. They do very commendable job, but they have a good number of volunteers also.
So out of these 28 states, you said your Bihar experience as a state was one of your best, maybe. As a writer, it's difficult to choose.
Yeah.
But which do you think was your favorite job out of the 38 jobs?
Many jobs actually I liked it. For Maharashtra, actually, I was working for the film Lutera.
Okay.
So Lutera was released at that time, and all those PR activities and all those events used to happen that time. And Spice PR is, I just look up to it.
Amazing experience writing the book and collecting information for the book. We'll take a short break and we'll move on to our your audience here, and they would like to know more about writing books and maybe reading books. So I think they'll take a perspective from you.
Yes.
So we are back again with Bocca Bytes in Bocca Cafe, and we have Mr. Jubanashwa Mishra with us, who has written this book, 28 Jobs, 28 Weeks, 28 States. Long time back, but it holds so much relevance now for travelers, for writers, for filmmakers, everybody. It's so interesting. And of course, for people who want to take up multiple jobs. So we have a very nice, interesting audience here. So we would, whoever wants to ask a question to Mr. Mishra, and need your introduction, you can give your own introduction, and then you can ask the question. And the question should be short, the answer can be longer.
Okay.
Okay. So anybody from the audience is present here in the Bocca Bookstore?
Sir, what advice would you give someone who wants to be a writer?
First of all, I don't believe in advice. I mean, like,
Taking advice or giving advice?
I mean, like, giving advice. I do take advice, but I never give advice. Like, in my book also, I think I have written that Buddha has found his path for nirvana, but he never claims that this is the only path. Kind of, I mean, but writing, I mean, like, one thing is a persistency. I mean, that's what, if you want to be a writer, keep writing. That's the only advice, nothing else. Before this ChatGPT era, if you can write 700 words per day, that is good enough.
Anybody wants to ask a question about anything? It's about his work, his writing, whatever.
My name is Mahadi.
Yeah.
I interacted with you, I think, a few years back. I wanted to invite you to our college fest.
Which college?
This is in I am Ranchi.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe, yeah.
So I have a question. So I am on a similar path right now. I have
Okay.
quit my job a few months back.
Okay,
Exploring what I want to do for the next, say, 5 years, 10 years, where I want to give my time to.
okay.
Very specific question to your part. Like, did the finance part bother you? Like, where will the money come from when you are taking such a path?
Okay. So, in the book, actually, if you read, I mean, I have mentioned that I did a crowdfunding for the whole journey. And many of my friends, I mean, in India, the crowdfunding means it's friends funding. I realized that. So, some 70s or 80 friends actually fund, I mean, for this whole journey. Yeah, it's very expensive actually. If you see right now, traveling India is also very expensive.
I wanted to check with you was about the future, where you were at that, so the next tranche of money will come from? Will you ask again for crowdfunding? Or what do you want to do after this? Like, is there any outcome you're expecting?
No, if you want to like travel for rest of your life, you should go for such kind of job like remote job. A lot of people do. I mean, for example, I can quote a friend called Jubin Mehta. He used to write for Your Story. From the last 10-12 years, I think he's settled in Dharamsala. So there are so many friends. I mean, in my Facebook, I can quote like many friends. So they are, they are traveling for infinite. Even most of the foreign travelers, they come for like at least for like 4-5 years duration. They do stay in a budget hotel like 300 rupees, 400 rupees per night. They don't stay like in a very luxury hotel of like 2,000, 3,000 or maybe higher range like. So that's you have to manage.
Somyo, I know, is a writer and he has written a few books. He's a traveler. So as an audience, or someday I would love to call you here for Bocca Bytes, we'll discuss about that. What is your perspective about traveling and writing? So some people write about the travels, some people write when they travel. So which do you like better?
I think when I travel and when I come back and try to put down words about what I experienced, I'm experiencing travel once again.
Right.
So that is a wonderful part.
Yes, yes.
Because apart from everything, for any kind of artist, your memory is the most precious thing, and you may not be able to put everything into words. We don't have all the words at our disposal at every moment, But whenever we try to write them down, it somehow gets immortal. Maybe someday, as Jubanashwa said, we are going to die. One day or not, we are going to die. But maybe after 100 years, somebody is going to read it, and maybe they will feel inspired or something. Maybe they will feel the same thing. So that is the best thing. Even sir knows that when I go to travel in the evening, I carry a notebook. I kind of try to find some time and sit down and try to at least put down anything. Because when we get back home, when we get back to our daily life, we will forget those memories, maybe the details. So those details, emotional details, are very essential to record. Perhaps it will inspire somebody else to travel down the same path.
Absolutely. And my perspective, maybe I've read it somewhere, is because with this new age of media, which is very fast and very vivid, literally there's nothing left to imagination. There's nothing left to imagination because everything we think of comes to us as a video or in graphics or whatever. Reading is something, and imagination is something very, very special to human beings. I don't think animals would imagine. They may dream, they may whatever. So reading, actually, while you're reading, you can actually visualize, you can see pictures, and that is what is missing in today's world. There's nothing left to imagination. Anything you want, anything comes in a film or an audio or whatever. So I think reading is something which we have to get back, whether it's small, articles, or they're big books or whatever. So our whole idea of, we had a library in Bocca, but books you can buy everywhere online at cheaper rates. But this community reading, gifting books to friends, when you want to do that, I think that has to get into an habit of building. So what's your last take in this Bocca Bytes? What's your bite on how do people improve on the reading habits? You don't have to be voracious readers and read all the time, because there is so much of media all around us, so much clutter, it's difficult. But what to read, how to read, what is your perspective?
They start with whatever interests you. So many genre. Here you can see fictions, mythology, science fictions is there, even psychological thrillers. So whatever genre you like, you just read it. You never know what answer you get it from the book, and from which book.
What's the last book which you have been inspired by?
I have read, recently the book called Rework. Since I am running a gaming firm, I feel we are stuck somewhere.
Right.
We are doing something which people staying in Istanbul are doing, or people who are staying in Sweden is doing. So how many gaming firms you can see in Odisha? There's so many gaming firms in Bombay, Hyderabad, maybe in Bangalore, but so doing such kind of things, maybe I thought we are stuck somewhere philosophically. Maybe our ideology to gaming is a bit wrong. And then somehow I read the book Rework. I don't know. Some recommendation, it came on Instagram and I read it.
Sir, I'm a potential criminal. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
As per.
And he was earlier sitting psychological thriller.
So sir, I have also, so I'm pursuing stand-up full-time now.
Okay.
I left multiple jobs and traveled to multiple states.
More than 28 jobs or less than 20?
Can't do the impossible, sir. Then I have to write a book.
Okay.
But sir, my question was, so as sir also said, your book is actually way ahead of its time. Which is true, because you did 28 jobs in 28 weeks in an era of unemployment.
Okay.
Now it is very tough to even find 2 jobs.
Yeah, agree.
How many jobs were you paid for out of the 28 jobs?
I think 7 to 8.
Only, okay.
7 to 8. And the rest of the jobs actually mostly volunteers, or maybe it's kind of experience. Who will pay me in Banaras to do cremation things? Before starting the whole journey, actually
you had scheduled it.
No, I arranged 4 to 5 jobs at the beginning. I started from the NDTV. They have some IndianRoots.com, some handloom and handicrafts e-commerce they have started, and Rahul Narvekar was CEO. And he just wrote me in Facebook, hey Jubanashwa, why don't you start from here? In Goa, this tattoo things. In Himachal, this mountain cleaning. In Banaras, this cremation thing. There you can get story. Also the stand-up comedy things also there you can get. A lot of stories are there. So, yeah.
So I think next session of discussion or questions we can take offline.
Okay.
So thanks everybody for being part of the first edition of Bocca Bytes in Bocca Cafe. So Bocca Bookstore, we didn't have a formal launch. We literally grew with the store as the books came in. So we'll be, hopefully with your support, we'll be keeping on doing such stuff. And not necessarily everything will be about books and reading. It could be about anything. And this is your space, the way you want to take it. So anything connected to books, office, coffee, culture, art. So there are so many verticals and diversions to everything. So we need to work on this as a team. So I'm so thankful. And thank you so much, Mr. Jubanashwa
I should thank
Mishra.
actually. I mean,
You can thank me first.
Yeah, first. No, before also I. So for such a nice initiative, I mean, like in this era, I mean, like people, like we have already discussed that people are, I mean, the reading habit is gradually decline. We should have more bookstores like this, and especially in Master Canteen and it's Bocca, since you have started. Hopefully, it will. If it can increase 1% of reader in Bhubaneswar circle, then also it's a bigger achievement.
Actually, I bought this book 2 times.
Yeah.
First time I read it,
Yeah.
and I couldn't find the book at home. So Aji Dori ki, I bought it again and read it. So and I realized you also forgotten some part of your book. This is the fun thing, that as you move along in life, you also forget your memories. So you have to go back to your own book to remember these things. So it's like Somya said, when you write, you also relive your memories. So I think we'll relive this live, whatever mix of podcast. I don't know. There's so many different versions of streaming. So you lose touch with it. But I think it was a very good beginning. Thank you, everybody. So you can buy signed books of Mr. Mishra, and if he wants to gift away something, I don't know. Thanks everyone. Thank you.